Now, this video, there's a little warning, okay? I'm gonna give you guys something to say to make a man fall in love, which is something that I usually don't say, and it's actually a strategy that really works. So if you're old to this channel, maybe you have heard it before, but if you're new to the channel, prepare to hear something you never heard before, and something that could be equally devastating if you're using it to manipulate people, but equally loving if you're actually using it for good intentions, okay? And also, we're gonna include two psychological principles. So the first is gonna be like a trick. It's like a one-trick pony that really works to make a guy fall in love. And then the next two are the principles that every scenario where somebody falls in love has. And these are psychological effects that everyone goes through. And if you know how, if you understand the psychology of it, you're able to replicate it, not consistently, but more often than most people, okay? And if you're dating someone that kind of likes you, that you have good chemistry with, and you want to intensify it, and you want to go Kaioken times 10, then the strategies today actually work for those situations. Now, the warning is that for these strategies to work, they have to kind of like you, right? They have to kind of have like some form of connection or the potentiality. And the way that you know that is that from the beginning, you could sense a connection. From the beginning, there was a vibe. From the beginning, you guys connected at some subconscious level. When you meet people like that, where it starts off good, then this is literally the strategy you want. This does not work if you struggle to create a connection, if you struggle for them to be consistent. So if you already have a decently or good situation, perfect. But if the guy of this person doesn't think you're attractive, this doesn't work, okay? We're not doing eye transplants, okay? Now, don't forget, we're having 50% off our courses using the coupon code BLACK. So with this coupon code, you can get one-on-one coaching for 20% off, and the online courses, all of my courses, you can get it at 50% off with the coupon code BLACK, and it ends on the 7th of this month, okay? So look, so the first strategy is, it's a future projection. And we're using the strategy which is insinuation. Insinuation, it's all about planting ideas in people's minds that takes roots days or weeks later. It's a form of inception that causes them to think of the idea you gave them while they think that the idea originates from them. If they think that you planted that idea, it doesn't work. So how do you do that? What essentially is that you say something and then you back off. For example, like, it's all about saying something and then just backing away, like saying, oh, me and you will be a perfect couple, but it wouldn't work out. We'll always be fighting. Anyways, how was your day? And you just change the topic, and you make sure that you don't let them say, what do you mean we'll be a good couple? This unimportant things that you change the topic to, these are the things that people dream about. These are the things that people think about when you're not there, right? Don't you notice that people that you see in your dreams, you thought you didn't see them, but you saw them before? Anything that happens that you notice, but you're not aware of it, arises in your dreams, arises during moments that you're not aware of, and it feels like you created it, when in reality, it came from something from the outside. So what you want to be able to tell a guy is, you want to tell a guy something that causes them to imagine being with you in a future. Something that only a man who's in love would think of. And it's this. And again, if you guys watch my channel, you know this. We will make good-looking kids. It's a compliment. Now, if you're ugly, not you, but if they're ugly, they're not gonna believe you, right? But telling people we will make good-looking kids, like just as a compliment to your looks, and then just changing the subject, like literally just change the subject, causes a guy to a few days or weeks later to literally imagine that. I've told this to guys, I've told this to women, and it's not 100% like it works, but if the person likes you, like if they already like you and you want them to like you more, this works. Now, it may not get somebody who doesn't like you to like you, but if they already like you, this will boost whatever feeling they have. Because they're gonna think of that. Like they're literally gonna think of that scenario, having kids with you. Like and they're gonna think of it not because they want to, but because they're like, yeah, it would be good. Like they would be good looking. How would they look? Oh shit, yeah, it's true. That thought is one of those thoughts that you only need to think about having a kid with someone once for it to multiply in your mind. It's really insidious. And if you have no intentions that are good, if you have bad intentions, I don't recommend it. But if you have good intentions, I swear to God, this is how parents fall in love, right? They'll start to talk about having kids. The other person says they would like to have kids. You say, yeah, I would like to have kids. And then you guys start to think about his name, where he's from, and stuff, and that kind of stuff. And that literally makes the couple love each other more. So this works for that. The next trick, which is not a trick, honestly, is proximity effect. The proximity principle is you like anything you see often, right? So for example, why do white people date white people? Not because they like white people, but because they were raised around whitey, right? Why do Asian girls who are raised in the hood, why do they like black guys? Because they were raised around black guys. If you want to change somebody's taste, just have them hang around what you want them to like, and eventually they're gonna like it out of exposure, right? So the proximity principle, or it's also the mere exposure effect. This principle will cause this person, if they see you every day, it's like with classmates. I remember I had a classmate that we had 5 classes together in the span of 1 year. And over time, she ended up liking me, and I ended up liking her because we would study together all the time. We would go on lunch breaks all the time. We did everything together just because we liked each other's company. But one day I wasn't around, and because I got sick and I was away for like a few days from school. And I noticed that something changed in her. Like she started to see me differently. She started to say, she one day brought me a fucking sandwich because I was sick. And over time, she confessed to me that she fell in love, right? And it's not because I did anything, but because it's just human nature that if you see something consistently, you're gonna end up liking it. It's just normal. Hang around Hitler not long enough, you're gonna think he's funny, right? So if you're dating someone, or he's your neighbor, or she's your neighbor, literally finding a way to spend time together, playing a board game together, doing something, they end up falling in love with you accidentally. Remember, the key to this principle is that it's accidental. So a big secret to this is that if you're gonna be applying this one, you have to be consciously aware that you're not gonna do anything. Like don't say, oh, I'm gonna wear this today to look cute. Oh yeah, I'm gonna say this because I read. Just go study with them, or be there like a fucking statue. Just be there. You don't have to do anything. The less you try, the more the proximity principle does. I'm telling you, it's one of those things that it's hard to do if you're somebody that usually does everything, that overdoes, right? But this only works when you don't try. Okay. Now the next one, and is actually my favorite one, the law of death. The law of death is pretty much anything that's about to end will cause you to feel more desire to capture it, will cause you to feel more desire to hold on to it. Anything that ends has an emotional quality. Anything that ends creates emotions in people. The last episode of your favorite show is an emotional episode. The last time you see your parents is an emotional moment. That one going away party is an emotional experience. When you know that this is the last time you're going to see this person because they're breaking up with you, it's an emotional experience. The law of death intensifies whatever appears to end. So it's important that the law of death isn't just applied when they think you're going to leave. It also applies in your absence. The brain is naturally insecure. If you pull away and you're not around a certain person long enough, especially if they saw you consistently, that period of absence becomes like a mourning period. It's almost like they start to mourn your absence. And if they got used to your presence and they got comfortable with your presence, the law of death dictates that when you leave, when you're not in their presence, their brain will miss you. One of the things about the brain is that anytime somebody dies and they're close to you, your brain will find a reason to blame you. Like, even though if it doesn't make any sense, your mom died of a heart attack, God forbid, you're gonna say, man, So I feel a little guilty because I used to sometimes buy her those chips that gave her high cholesterol. And it's kind of like, it's, if you're looking at it from the outside, you're like, dude, like, that's not your fault, bro. Like, how could you expect buying her that's going to kill her? But just naturally, people just do that. It's even if you have no fault, you're still going to blame yourself. So the law of the law of death, or the law of absence, to be honest with you, causes people to self-reflect because it's natural. When somebody dies, you sort of say, okay, how can I have prevented this? Or what could I have said to prevent this situation? It's natural to feel guilty, right? And so this causes people to say, oh man, is this person pulling away? Did I say something? Did I say something that offended them? Did I do something? I think I have. And it causes people then to text you in a way to fish whether or not you really are mad. So what they'll do is that they'll fish for compliance. So let's just say the excuse was that I can't study with you because I'm sick, right? And she's used to studying with you. Now you say I'm sick. You will fish for compliance by saying, oh, okay. Do you want me to bring you anything? I can make you soup. You're seeing whether or not they still want to see you or whether or not it's an excuse. If you say, nah, man, I just want to be alone, they'll say, damn, maybe they really are not that interested. Maybe I did something that offended them. They'll be like, did I do something? Are you sure you're not mad at me? Then when you come back, all of a sudden it feels like you came back from the grave. All of a sudden, like, oh my God, okay, I was just feeling insecure. Oh, whew. It's like a guy, if his balls itch, you're like, oh my God, I got AIDS. And you're like, oh my God, oh Lord, I gotta go get checked. You go get checked and it's not AIDS. You're like, oh, whew, oh Lord. You squeeze them harder because you're happy. It's that type of shit. You thought you lost it and then it came back. And sometimes it's almost like a process where this is the love. You put it through an oven, right? That sort of like, it's almost like, imagine it's like a factory, right? In order for this love to turn into a love where you both have, put it through this little oven of absence, right? And so this little oven of absence will cause it to go in there and come back like as a love situation, right? And this is the law of death. In your absence, they're like, what the fuck is going on? I don't know, I'm losing him because I don't see it, I can't see it. Oh shit, it comes out. Oh, he loves me. Okay, now I'll hold on to it. And this happens even if you're not absent because you're not gonna be there all the time. And the more in love you get, the more insecure you get. But also, the more secure you get because the insecurity causes you to get validation from them. And they show you, no, baby, I still love you. You feel validated. And each time you feel insecure, you try to get validation and it increases the love. And so am I losing them? No, I have them. Am I losing them? No, I have them. It brings you upward to feel more in love with them, right? Because you start to see the value in them. Man, this person is great. I don't want to lose them. What if I do lose them? The law of death. Oh my God, I hope I don't lose them. They're so unique. It's very hard for me to find someone that I love. You text them, hey baby, I love you. He says, I love you back. Oh, now you're back. The insecurity gets relieved. And this is the process of falling in love. These tricks, they work. They really work. I'm not even lying to you. Future projection through an insinuation. We will have good looking kids. I say that because it was done to me and it worked. Proximity, just be around them like a fucking statue. Don't try to get them to like you. Just be there like a statue. And then the law of death. Don't be there. Pull away. Let your absence do the dirty work for you. Let it go through this and let it come out as two rather than one. So remember, people, if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, go to mindfulattraction.org. Don't forget we're having 50% of our courses using the coupon code BLACK. It ends at the end of the month, at the end of the week, this week, the 7th, and 20% off working with me one-on-one. So if you guys want to get somebody to fall in love and you guys don't know how to do that, well, purchase a one-on-one phone call with me today, people. Don't listen to what the fuck your grandma says. She doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. We're not back in the 50s. Her strategies don't work. Call me and I'll be able to help. Okay? Take care. Bye-bye.